Welcome back to another episode of the Million Dollar Body Podcast. If you're here, it's probably because you're a high performer, real estate agent, business owner, or entrepreneur that's interested in maximizing your physique, optimizing your finances, and having incredible relationships using fitness and nutrition as force multipliers in your life. If you're not part of the Facebook group already, definitely go to n8trainingsystems.com/group and join. That's where we stream these podcast episodes every Monday. Sometimes they go live a little earlier than others, like today, but we rock and roll. We work with what we got. So you can join in, you can ask questions. There's a ton of cool stuff happening, a lot of free content in there. I just put up a brand new workout that you can lock down if you're locked down. So go in there and grab that. Again, that's n8trainingsystems.com/group, N8trainingsystems. I tend to slur my words together, so there you have it. So before we get started, one of the things I like to do is to give a shout out to people who are accomplishing big things in the Million Dollar Body community. Today's shout out goes to Ben Johnson. Ben owns a business up in Wisconsin. He's doing really big things up there. Right now he's working from home a lot, but he has actually just been working on the Million Dollar Body program for the last 2 weeks. And Ben is someone who's already fit. He's already doing a lot of the right stuff. He's working out and doing calisthenics, working on rings. He's just a badass. But in just 2 weeks in the Million Dollar Body program, he's lost, I think, almost 5 pounds, lost a full percent body fat, lost an inch at his waistline. And this is someone who's already been doing the work and seeing some good results. So Ben, I just want to say I appreciate you putting the effort and following that structure of the program. You're awesome. And I know you're awesome at what you do as well. So thanks so much for being a part of the community. Right now, today, what I wanted to jump into is the B word that can help you guarantee success, or the S word, I guess, that can keep you from being successful. So that B word, what is that B word? B word is just belief, okay? Oh, okay, so you can stop the episode right there. We're not talking about anything super sexy. You just shut it down right now, no problem. But the B word is belief. And specifically, I'm talking about the belief that the path you're on, that the way you're going about pursuing your goals is the right path. You believe that that the path you're on is going to take you to the place you want to go. So I'll give you an example. When I was a sophomore in college, between my sophomore and junior year, and I signed up for a program. I got employed. I got a job through a company called the Southwestern Company. And what this company did is they would help you, teach you how to sell books door to door, and then give you a territory and provide you with the frameworks and support that you needed to go make a lot of money for the future. So I went out, drove to Nashville, Tennessee, to do a 1 week long sales school there. Okay. And after that, went out to my territory, was in Ohio. I've talked a lot about my territory being in Ohio and different things that happened to me during that course of that summer before. So the one thing that I wanted, like if I could go back and redo stuff, I mean, obviously I feel like I've ended up in the place I need to be. So I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. But if I could go back, I would redo how I did sales school. And the reason for it is this. In sales school, they indoctrinate you. They tell you about their programs, their way of going about the systems, the sales script, etc. And one of the like indoctrinations, the things we did on a daily basis in the morning, was what they called executives, the executive activities. And simply what this was, you're gonna think about this, and you're gonna be skeptical too if you're like me. Is we go out after breakfast into a parking lot, and we do like some chants and some cheers that would get us amped up for the day. And so it's ridiculous is what it is. It's completely ridiculous. And so it would be like we do call and response, like who's a badass? I'm a badass. Like all these like different ways of just getting ourselves geeked out for the day. And I was always hanging back and being skeptical. I was always like, man, this is kind of stupid. If I'm being honest, this is a little stupid right now. And so I held back. And it was just a small thing, right? It wasn't like I was holding back in a lot of these other areas. It was like I wasn't quite buying into the full process that they had said, hey, like we have exactly what, like we have the program, we have the system, it's proven to work. And I was like, yeah, I like that. I like the idea. I want to make a lot of money. I'll follow your sales script. I'll do these things. I'll check these boxes. But I'm not doing executives. I'm not doing that in the morning. It's stupid. And so, fast forward a couple months, we're into the summer. And I lived with a roommate, Ryan. Ryan Ruiz, if you're listening to this, hopefully you're having a laugh at my expense, but we would go to a place in the morning called Best Friends Breakfast, Best Friends Diner or something like that. And we get the same thing every day. And then occasionally, not all the time, we'd go out into the parking lot and we'd do our executives. And it would just be these two dudes like back and forth saying stuff to each other. And I can't even remember all the ridiculousness. And I'm sure if you're a book person, then you remember, I'm sure you know, but we would just be kind of saying these things back and forth. We never really fully went 100%. It was always half-assed. I always gave half-assed effort to that because I was embarrassed. I didn't fully buy in because I was embarrassed and I'm too cool for school. I was skeptical. I'm a skeptic, right? I'm sarcastic. I'm kind of funny, biting. I'm like if you were asking me to do something that I think that I would be probably making fun of, I'm not going to do that thing because it's stupid. And that was my mentality going into the summer. And I was not as successful as I could have been. And was my lack of success due to the fact that I didn't do my executives every single morning? Probably not. There's probably some other things that I was doing like in the moment, not doing my script right. But the idea is that the bleed over from being skeptical about one aspect of the program led me to be not successful in the other areas. I bought in only as far as I thought I could kind of handle the rest. And I didn't buy in on the rest. I didn't believe that the executives were going to help me get my goal. And therefore my results were subpar. And so I contrast that with, I hired a coach to help me with certain business things a couple of years back. And he had asked me to do things that I was not comfortable with, to be honest with you. Like, say these things, go about it this way, send these messages, do these sorts of things, buy this program, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, man, well, can't I just get by without doing those things? Like, what's the workaround here? What's the workaround? But I found myself reflecting back to that time at Southwestern, at sales school. And I was like, you know what? That didn't work for me. Being skeptical did not work for me in this situation. Now, I've hired a coach. I threw my wallet over the fence. I bought in on his system. Why am I saying now and second guessing and being like, well, how can I get around to this piece? And I caught myself in the moment. And I was like, this is not where I want to go. This is not what I want to do. So I was like, okay, you say, send this message, I'll send the message. You say, write the email like this, I'm going to write the email like that. You say, film my videos and say this thing, great. You want me to buy this this software? Great, bought. And I went all in. I said, you know what? I've hired you to the exclusion of all other people. I'm bought in. I'm going 100%. I'm going super deep. And everything you say, I'm going to believe. Everything you tell me to do, I'm going to execute on. Everything that you tell me is right, I'm going to follow along with that. And so once I made my choice for that coach, I bought in 100% and I did exactly what he said. And I was successful. Even though certain things felt uncomfortable at the time, I didn't really want to do them. They felt a little annoying, a little ticky-tack. I did exactly what he told me to do. And I followed the program exactly as written. Because when you're skeptical, when you come into a program and you're skeptical, and I'm not saying it's bad to be skeptical. If someone's like, hey man, I got into a fight with a shark the other day, and you're like, bullshit. Let me see the bite marks. Like, it's okay to be skeptical on some of those things. But when you make a choice, when you say, this is my framework, when you say, this is my coach, when you say, this is the program I'm following, when you say, this is my system, then your skepticism no longer serves you. You've made your choice. You've adopted your paradigm, your schism. Go all in on that thing. Go to take that to the logical extent. If someone comes into my program and starts working with me in the $1 Million Body program and they're skeptical, they're looking for problems, guess what they're going to find? Problems. 100% of the time. No matter how amazing my program is, no matter how smart I am, no matter how many objections I cover and everything I lay out, they're going to find problems with what I said. So if it's like, well, you didn't say I could have fruit until dinner time, like how can you say that fruit is causing fat loss, or causes fat gain? Did you even read blah blah blah? And you're like, okay, well, that's not how the system works as a whole. So therefore, if you're trying to nitpick little pieces, you're going to find problems. And it's not just for my program, it's for every little thing that you do. If you're trying to find problems with the sales school, you're going to find a problem with the executive exercises. I'm too cool for school. I'm going to find a problem with that. If I hire a business coach and he says, hey, you need to go reach out to 5 people a day, I'm like, well, does it need to be 5 people? Why do I have to do cold outreach? Doesn't that feel spammy? Well, you're gonna find problems with every little thing. But once you take that to the opposite side, and you say, I'm going to believe that the person I've hired, that the place I'm in, that the program I'm on has my answers and is in my best interest, and it's going to take me from point A to point B, whether that's weight loss, whether that's business, whether that's like learning a new skill, whether that's like, learning jiu-jitsu or swinging a tennis racket or learning to play golf or anything like that. You picked your coach. Now buy in and go all the way. Buy in and go all the way. Belief is that B word. You have got to have the belief that what you're doing is going to work. Someone the other day told me, someone that has known me a long time said to me, yeah, I think you've gotten a little softer as you've gotten older. And I was like, whew, ouch, that's kind of cold. But I thought about it and I was like, well, maybe I have gotten a little softer in the way that I'm not as sarcastic and I'm not as skeptical as I used to be. I have less need to please every single person and less need to be like well-liked and be perceived as being super cool. And I still deal with that. I'm sure that's just a human condition. We all deal with wanting to be liked, wanting to be perceived as being cool, wanting to be the best, etc. But now I know that I don't have to, there's no one else that really I have to please or impress because I've made my choices and I'm on the path. So all I need to do is put my head down and do the work because I believe that my workout program is leading to results, that my business coaching is helping me get to where I want it to be, that like I'm doing the right things in my relationships with my wife and my daughter. And I believe those things very firmly. And therefore I don't need to be too cool for school. I don't need to be skeptical of those things. I don't need to always be standoffish and well, like, let me just stand here and like watch you fail and make fun of you. I don't need to be that person anymore because I am secure. I have the belief that the way I'm trending and the way things are going is the right thing. So let me ask you, are you skeptical or do you believe in your direction? Are you standoffish or do you have the belief that the path you're on is the correct path? The coach you've hired is the correct coach? I don't know the answer to that. And I don't know, like, I just encourage you to reflect. Like, are you not getting results because you are not 100% bought in that you are exactly in the right place at the right time? And maybe you don't have the right coach. Maybe you don't have the right program, and that's fine. But there are a lot of different nutrition plans online. There are a lot of different fitness plans online. There are a lot of different business plans online. And there's coaches who can deliver the gamut. And so maybe keto is not the right choice for you. Maybe the glycogen priming, the $1 million body is the right choice for you. And hey, you know where I live. You know what my podcast sounds like. Maybe weightlifting is not your best bet, but maybe getting into a martial art is a great idea. Maybe using the TRX for some body weight or some calisthenics workouts is the best bet. And you have a plan that fits. Don't be standoffish. Dive in. Don't be skeptical. Believe that it's going to work and you're going to get there. Because if you're focused on problems, if you're always looking for problems, you're going to find them regardless of how badass the program, the system, the framework, or the coach is. You're always going to be able to find problems. But if you hire that person, if you take that step, if you get that program, if you start on the system, you need to believe. You need to go buy in 100% and use that belief so you can actually see those radical results. So short podcast for you guys today, but I just wanted to make sure that this is something that's so important because something that I've dealt with. And I know that from experience, if you don't have that belief, you're going to have lackluster results, if any at all. So, hey, if this was helpful for you, what I'd love you to do is just take a screenshot of this podcast, tag me on social media. Ask any questions you have. I respond to all the questions that I get. And anytime you get a chance to share the $1 Million Body podcast, it's awesome for me. So I really appreciate you for that. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, and I'll talk to you very soon.